There's always the people that want to prevent suicides. There's a lot of good people out there. But what I'm doing is I'm taking my personal experience of a suicide attempt and I'm speaking to the audience. You know, just now after the speech, I had a lot of guys come up to me, and you know, a lot of them were really touched by what I said because they know personally that they've experienced it. I take my couch, take a seat, and I put this knife on this table. The biggest thing is not to be ashamed. You know, it's not something to be ashamed by, even if you haven't been deployed before. We're human beings. We suffer from the same things that everybody else does, and it's okay to get help.
In this moment, all the anger starts building up. My body starts shaking. You know why? It's because
through the Wish Project, Andrew is able to travel all over the world and encounter many experiences.
The sergeant came up and he was tearing up in his eyes and he was having a hard time talking and he was choking. And that really had the biggest effect on me. It makes me realize that even if that was the only person in this whole room that I affected, at least I got to someone. I'm in a room of over probably about 200 soldiers right now. I just told you all how I tried to kill myself.
I was with the U.S. Army's 10th Mountain Division in Afghanistan. While I was there, my vehicle was blown up twice. And first time I walked away completely unharmed, didn't have a scratch on me. Had to drag one of my guys out who was half conscious and catching on fire, but him and the other guy who were injured, they both returned to duty a month later. In fact, I got a couple pictures to show you. This is the vehicle that we were in. Ran over a double stack of anti-tank mines that were buried in the road. And very unfortunate, destroyed the vehicle completely, but we all lived. Got back from that mission, and my mother had written me an email that day that we returned. And she said, Brian, this is gonna sound odd, she said, but a couple days ago I had this really strange, intense feeling to pray for your protection as I was driving to the grocery store. It was about the same time, by the way. And in one of my books, I even have the email documented, time, date, and everything. Just crazy how that happens. In fact, this is the van he was driving. That used to be a minivan. And that's me right afterwards. Can't really tell by looking at me now. I'm not much better looking at this point, but you know, that was right after it happened. Some guy took my picture. You know, sometimes in life we go through hard things and we finally get through it and we think it's over. And then sometimes we get through it and just when we think it's over, it's not. You're in Vietnam, who came to the hospital and said, hey Brian, let me show you how to do something with that. If you're willing, I'll teach you. This is actually my license plate. It says, nice try. You know, if you get blown up or shot, it's like you get a Purple Heart, you're like, yay, get a license plate, you know. You know, we call it the enemy marksmanship badge just to have fun with it. Like going through all that, 14 months at a medical center, reconstructive surgery and rehabilitation, all of this pain, we're prepared and we're trained to go to war and fight, and we do that well. But when we come home, it made sense. Life isn't always fair. I discovered my greatest God-given purpose. I know why I'm here on this earth, because of something horrible I went through. And I don't believe it to be any different in your life.